Hey guys, remember when you went to the gun store and you bought your first ever gun? And it most likely looked something like this, plain on the top, stock as could be. You bought it that way because that is the way you were going to carry it, or that was the way you were going to use it for home defense. Only to find out later that you can completely modify this gun to your liking. You can put on grips, you can put on mag wells, you can put on a red dot, you can put on better iron sights, better trigger. You can modify this thing to till your little heart explodes. So the modification that I'm going to be talking about today is actually the micro red dots that you can put on top of your gun. Now, if you bought your gun completely stock, just like this, okay, this is clear by the way, there's no magazine down there, okay, nothing in the chamber there, okay, don't freak out, I'm in my basement, not gonna shoot anybody. With the micro red dot, you could either do one of two things, okay, you can basically, actually you can do three things. You can just not do a red dot at all, okay, or you can go to the store and you can buy another gun that has a, in this case, an MOS mounting system on the top of a Glock, or any other company that has red dot compatible firearms. There's a couple of companies that are making that standard nowadays. It'd be like M&P has their Core series. Walter PDPs have their optics ready, already built into it. Okay, or your other option is you can send this off to get the slide milled, which I've done a couple of times on a couple of my firearms. So a couple of companies that I have used so far is one, Jagerwerks. I've used them because they are a Michigan company and they're really good at milling your red dot. If you don't know what a milling is, it's basically where you cut into the slide to fit a certain type of optic. Now, when you do this, you have to let the company know what type of optic that you are looking to get, because each optic has a type of footprint. Some companies have their own footprints. Most companies follow the RMR, the Trijicon RMR footprint, for example. Jagerwerks does a really good job because they have a nice deep cut, first of all, and they actually send the slide back with screws to go with the mill job that they did. Okay, now the company I'm going to talk about today is, I was looking around for one that had not as long of a lead time. The lead time just being how long you have to wait to get your optic back. Some of these really good companies like Jagerwerks are starting to get more popular, so it is taking longer to get those slides back. So I think Jagerwerks, when I was looking at getting a slide milled, it was 5 to 6 weeks at that time. Now it can change based on the season. Okay, but the company that I wanted to try this time was the Glock store. They had on their website, and I think I watched one of Lenny McGill's YouTube videos that had a 10-day guarantee slide milling. So you sent the slide down to them. They had 10 days or less to actually mill the slide and send it back. And I believe I saw somewhere if they didn't do it in 10 days, the mill job was actually free. They would give you your money back if they were not able to do it in 10 days. So I wanted to take advantage of that. I thought that was really cool. If you think about it, it's roughly about a 2-week lead time total, with the shipping going down, them doing the milling, and then shipping coming back. It took roughly about right around 2 weeks to complete the entire process. This is not the firearm I was going to get milled. I actually sent down a Glock 19X that I just got back today. So I wanted to show you what it looked like before I put the optic on the slide. And we are going to go down to the tabletop right now and check it out. Hey guys, welcome to the tabletop. Like I said before, this was a Glock store mill job. You go on their website and you go into their custom slide area. You have all these different choices for optics that you want to put on there. So I chose the Trijicon SRO, and what you see here is actually the blued finish is they put a blued finish on there so it doesn't rust. Because when they cut into the slide, they cut away all of that coating on your slide that prevents your slide from rusting. They did a really, let me see if I can focus that, they did a really good job on the slide. This is one of the deepest cuts I've seen, and I'm very interested to see if my Trijicon SRO actually co-witnesses with this slide. One thing I did notice is it's kind of crummy over here. It's not very smooth on that side. One of the things I noticed with Jagerwerks is the entire slide was completely smooth. So this is what it looks like before the Optic is put on the slide. So I'm going to do this off camera because I don't want to take forever. I got to find screws that are going to fit. All right, welcome back guys after the install. This thing fits like a glove, and it fits perfectly for the Trijicon SRO. I didn't try to fit any other optics on here with an RMR footprint, but I told them this is the optic I was going to put on here, and they delivered. It snapped on there and it wasn't going anywhere. It did not come with screws, so I actually took some from my Walther PDP box. Thank you, Walther. And I used some of their larger screws. Actually worked in this on this slide. So I am fortunate that it all worked out that way. But yeah, great job, Glock store. You guys did a phenomenal job. Oh, one more thing I talked to you about earlier. It barely co-witnesses on this optic. These are just standard height sights here. If you look through the sights, you can see the very top of the sight of the front sight on here through the optic. So can I co-witness with these? Yes, technically you can, because everything above your front sight post is where you're hitting anyway. That's your aiming point. It's not actually the dot, it's above the sight. So you can co-witness with this pretty easily. So this is actually perfect for me because I don't really like my iron sights up in the glass. I like them down below. So this is actually perfect. The very bottom portion of the glass, I can still see my irons. I might switch the front to a blacked out sight. I really don't like the orange and the red dot together. That kind of messes with my eyes a little bit. So I most likely will be changing that front sight. You don't have to ship the optic with the slide. I just shipped the slide by itself. Now just keep in mind, it comes back in FedEx and you have to sign for it. So if you're not actually home during the week, like I wasn't, they came at noon both days. I was working, so I actually had to go to the FedEx store that was like 8 miles away in the middle of the city, which takes about 15 minutes to get there. So that was kind of annoying, but they do put $500 insurance on it for shipping it back. It is up to you to put insurance on it when you are shipping it to them. All right, I just got back from the range. I did this part of the video a day later than the other part of the video. There's no wobble, nothing. That's why I really like milling my slides, milling my optics directly to the slide. Okay, there's no plate on there for it to fail. It's basically screwed in directly to the slide, which I really, really like that design, that idea. Is it worth the $200? In my opinion, it is worth the $200 to get it milled directly to the slide. There's just less failure points when you do it that way. I did throw on the Radian Ramjet on there. I was just testing it out, seeing how I liked it. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep that on there or not. It ran really well with this Glock 19X. I might do a review on this Glock 19X here soon, but this is just a review of the slide milling. I have had no problems with this, with their work so far. I've only taken it to the range once. I only put about 200 rounds through this, so time will tell. I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to train hard, get strong, be a protector. If no one said I love you today, I love you guys. God bless you all.